Hello everyone, welcome back to Obstant Rise. Today we have an exciting episode lined up. Not only we are going to design a logo and learn how to create a mockup in a Photoshop, but I will also share some useful Photoshop tips and discuss the latest news in the design world. This video is packed with a content, so make sure to watch till the end. Logo design tutorial. Let's start with our logo design. Today I will be creating a simple logo using the letter D. This is just a showcase to some basic technique you can use. So let's begin by typing the letter D and align it in the center of your canvas. Let's Step 1. Adding a gradient color. To make our logo stand out, we will add a gradient color. Gradient can give a depth and a modern look to your design. To do this, create a new layer above the D layer, select your gradient color and drag the gradient across the new layer. Then right click on the new layer and choose create clipping mask. This technique allows the gradient to be applied only to the letter D. As you can see, the color within the letter D has changed and it's easy to adjust if you want to experiment with a different colors. When working with a gradient, use the gradient editor to fine-tune your colors and blending. You can create a custom gradient that match your gradient color palette, giving your design a more cohesive look. Step 2. Designing the letter. Now let's add some design element to the letter. I will draw a line to split the letter D into two parts. After marking one side of the D and saving that selection, we copy the D layer and mask it using the saved selection. Load the selection again, invert it and mask the opposite side. Now we have our letter D split into two parts. Remove the line we used for splitting. For an additional effect, I will add an arrow graphic and wrap it to fit our design. blend it into finalize the look. Lastly, let's add a title. Design logo. Always remember to use non-destructive editing techniques such as masking and using the adjustment layer. This way you can always go back and adjust your design without losing quality or having to start over. Now before we move on to the next step, let's talk about a recent update in Photoshop. Adobe recently released a new version that includes improved AI tools for selecting subjects and refining edge. These tools make it easier than ever to isolate complex subjects from their backgrounds, which is perfect for logo design and other detailed work. If you haven't updated your Photoshop yet, I have highly recommended checking out these new features. Step 2. Creating a logo mockup. Now let's go to the fun part. Mocking up our logo to present to the client. Head over to Frickpick or any other resources site and search for a logo mockup. Choose a PSD file that suits your needs and download it. I have already downloaded one, so let's open it. You will find a layer labeled replace your logo. Double click it and it will open another file. Double click on the logo layer again to bring up a new window with the 2D version of the logo. Open your logo file, replace the placeholder with your design, adjust the size and save the file. These might take a few seconds to load. When you go back to the main mockup file, your logo will appear in the mockup. For a better presentation, make sure your logo is properly aligned and consider using a smart object in a Photoshop. This allows for a non-destructive transformation and keeps your logo crisp and clear, no matter how much you resize it. While we waiting for a logo to render, let's dive into some general knowledge. Step 4. Refining the markup and blending the technique. Let's check our markup. If it doesn't look quite right, don't worry. Sometimes you need to make a few adjustments to ensure it looks realistic. For instance, if your logo appears too flat, try using blending models like multiple or overlap to integrate it better with the background. I will open an older design now and demonstrate how a few tweaks can make all the differences. Notice how adding a slight drop shadow and adjusting the opacity can make the logo pop. Blending is key. Use the layer style and blending mode to ensure your design looks natural and professional. Play around with shades, highlights and even texture to see what works best for your design. And there you have it. Today we covered a lot, from designing a simple logo, adjusting the gradient, creating a mockups, to discussing the latest Photoshop update and trends in the design world. I hope you find these tips and tricks helpful. Remember, practice makes man perfect, and the more you experiment, the better you will be get at using a Photoshop. Did you know that the first version of the Photoshop was created in 1987 by Thomas and John Holly? Since then, the Photoshop has evolved into one of the most powerful tools for designer, photographer and a digital artist worldwide. Its ability to handle the complex tasks like logo design and photo editing make it indispensable in the creative industry. In other news, the creative industry is seeing a surge in the use of 3D element in design. Tools like Adobe Design and Photoshop's 3D features are becoming more popular. These trends allow the designer to create more dynamic and engaging content. If you are into a logo design, consider experimenting with a 3D markup to give your client a more realistic preview of how their logo will look in different environments. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe to Often channel for more tutorial and updates. See you in the next video and stay tuned. Thank you. Bye bye.